In a small, forgotten town nestled between misty mountains, lived a 16-year-old girl named Lyra. She was an ordinary teenager, but she yearned for adventure beyond the gray walls of her town. Every day felt the same, dull and predictable. That is, until one fateful afternoon. Lyra was wandering through the town's narrow, cobblestone streets when she stumbled upon an alley she had never noticed before. The alley was dark and shadowy, but something about it called to her. Her curiosity piqued. She followed the winding path until she found herself in a bustling market filled with strange and exotic stalls. The air was thick with the scent of spices, and every corner seemed to hum with hidden magic. At the center of the market was a stall run by an old woman with silver hair and piercing blue eyes. She beckoned Lyra closer. "Looking for something, child?" the woman asked in a voice that seemed to echo with age and wisdom. "I'm not sure," Lyra replied, feeling a strange pull toward the woman's table, which was cluttered with odd trinkets and artifacts. The old woman reached beneath the table and brought out an hourglass. It was small, made of crystal with sand that shimmered like gold. "This is no ordinary hourglass," she said. "It holds the power to control time, but be warned, it comes with a price." Without thinking, Lyra reached out and touched the hourglass. The moment her fingers brushed against it, the world around her shifted. The vibrant market dissolved, and she found herself standing in the middle of a vast, enchanted forest, the hourglass glowing in her hand. The forest was like nothing Lyra had ever seen. The trees were tall and twisted, their leaves glimmering in shades of blue and silver. The air was cool and crisp, carrying the sound of distant whispers. She knew she was no longer in her town, but she didn't feel afraid. Instead, she felt a thrill of excitement. This was the adventure she had always dreamed of. As Lyra explored the forest, she noticed that time seemed to behave strangely. The sun would set and rise in the blink of an eye, flowers bloomed and wilted in seconds, and streams flowed backward. It was as if the entire forest was alive and constantly shifting. Lyra soon realized that the hourglass was the key. Whenever she turned it, time around her would speed up or slow down. Fascinated, she began to experiment, using the hourglass to explore deeper into the forest. But as she ventured further, she encountered creatures and beings unlike any she had imagined. There were the timekeepers, ancient beings who guarded the flow of time in the forest. They warned her not to meddle with time, for it was a fragile thing, easily disrupted. But Lyra's curiosity got the better of her. She wanted to see what would happen if she could control time completely. One day, Lyra came across a hidden glade where time seemed to stand still. In the center was a pool of crystal-clear water, reflecting the sky above. She knelt by the pool, gazing into its depths. As she did, she felt the hourglass grow warm in her hand. The golden sand inside began to swirl faster and faster. Without thinking, Lyra turned the hourglass, trying to see if she could freeze time entirely. For a moment everything stopped, the wind, the trees, even her own heartbeat. But then the hourglass cracked, and the sand began to pour out, spilling into the pool. The forest around her began to collapse, the trees withering and the sky darkening. Lyra tried to turn the hourglass back, but it was too late. The magic was escaping, and with it, the life of the forest. In desperation, Lyra called out to the timekeepers. They appeared before her, their faces stern.